Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Good evening. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the Town of Rocky Hill Open Space and Conservation Commission regular meeting of November 12th, 2025. I'd like to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Nobody here for the public, so cool. I do want to start off by saying that Commissioner Sampino and Commissioner Beatty will be voting this evening in place of now Councilmember Kaplan and the, no, your vote, you're fine.
I'm a
Yeah,
full member
no,
now,
we're full.
yes.
We're full on the Dem side then, with just the one.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll let you guys flip between each other.
You do it.
Okay.
Vote on anything.
Not really. Okay, first item on the agenda is approval of the 2026 meeting schedule. Can I get a motion, please?
I have a question first.
Certainly.
Do I recuse myself or do I abstain since this no longer applies to me?
Well, it could
I
no
think you
longer
could-
apply
You're
to
seated,
any of
you're
us.
You're
seated
seated,
right now.
you could vote.
He's
This is
moving.
my last meeting.
Yeah,
But
but still,
schedule
it's,
does-
none of
yeah,
us are, I mean, we're all up for grabs.
yeah, we don't know
yeah.
what's
We
going to
could all
happen
be
come
reappointed.
January anyway, so
theoretically,
go ahead and
I
you
don't
can
see
vote.
how that
We'll
could
let you
be,
vote.
like-
We'll let you vote for this.
Keep
You're
your name tag,
seated.
too.
I am.
It's a calendar, it's not a, it's,
How
I
did I
don't,
know
yeah.
that?
So, okay, do I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve the 2026 meeting schedule.
Second?
Second. You said I'm voting.
Discussion? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. Okay, that passes. Okay, next we have discussion of the 2025 POCD tasks and consideration for the Open Space Conservation Commission. And Derek has told me he's going to keep this short and sweet.
Are you gonna
So short,
facilitate?
so
Oh,
sweet. Yes, please.
Okay,
Okay, so, back in October, I think it was, there was the new Plan Implementation Committee meeting. As we all know, back in we have a new Plan of Conservation and Development as of 2025, and in that plan, there are a bunch of items or tasks that have been assigned to the OSCC, or we are part of the plan. Either we are a lead or a partner to the implementing institution. And so part of the homework from the Plan Implementation Committee was to say, like, okay, well, what tasks is the OSCC going to be taking on? Or, what is the relative priority? And I think as a group, this group gets wide discretion on what it does, and this is a 10-year plan, so I don't think
Okay.
there's any particular timeline. But so what I took away as homework was basically, okay, next time the PIC committee meets, which should be in a quarter, say, yeah, these are the things that we identified as the tasks that we want to take on. So I have maybe a little bit of a nerdy exercise. I'm a product manager at work, and so I have a little prioritization chart.
I mean, you had me at prioritization before.
Right?
so-
It can be fun. What a great way to spend the evening. And when I was looking at the tasks, I saw like two different categories. Like some, they just look like ongoing actions. They're things that we do in the course of our business just as a wetlands authority. So, for example, like continue to protect natural resources and things of that nature. Like it seems like that is not a task that is complete on such and such a date and then done, right? That's a thing that we do every time we meet and review something.
So, can I ask a question?
Sure,
Or
yeah.
I can wait.
No, please.
So, where, I guess I need some guidance, and I don't know if Michelle or Dave, you can weigh in, but some of these, when I was reading them, I was like, they are things that we consider, but they're not within our span of, what's in our control as a committee, either, that the state has granted us or the municipality. So I wasn't sure, can we drive projects that are is it really us to say, okay, we will take this on and drive it when, I was struggling with some of that,
Is there a
ongoing,
specific task?
yeah, like he said, there's some that we do today, continue to protect, but then there was, separating of the functions, for example. Is that something like, I think between farmland and the Open Space Commission,
There were
as an
certainly
example?
things in here that
Yeah.
looked like outside the bounds of a normal, wetlands authority.
Yeah.
Like establishing an open space system.
Yes.
Having trails.
Yes.
Outlined. There's sections in here, not to jump the gun, but it's like, somewhere in here, there's, consider acquiring property, which
Yeah.
is not something that's
Right, like,
does.
so he gave a better example. I was also thinking of, establishing separate commissions too, I thought I read that somewhere here.
Yeah, there's, seek to connect the existing and new open spaces. I think that is something this commission does under review of,
Oh, if,
review of site plans, like the most recent one was the Capitol, Enterprise Drive and Capitol Boulevard, where we got the remainder of that property of what wasn't being
Right,
developed as a conservation easement.
yes,
That's where that, and if there's a subdivision, we
Yep.
would opinionate on whether, we felt it was suitable to take open space or if
Right. Don't forget throughout this whole thing that our official title is Open Space and Conservation Commission, where that is part of it. Open space is part of our commission. Granted, we really don't focus in on that. We focus in more on the inland wetlands,
Yeah.
which has become the biggest part of our tenure here.
Yeah.
So don't forget that is part of us.
And it seems, as far as the plan is concerned, it seems like as the plan was written, there are tasks here that are a little bit beyond
yeah,
the
like the
Wetlands
trails
Authority.
that you mentioned, or the river, I just feel like,
I think this commission offers more of maybe a technical approach where the land acquisition committee has the purse strings.
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But we look for opportunities or promote those, okay.
Right. Considering that the land acquisition, farmland preservation is a subcommittee of the council, so they have more direct insight to bring to council and saying, hey, excuse me, we can spend, X amount of money to protect this piece of land. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and
Sorry,
yeah.
No, it's
it
good for
clear.
everybody.
So one thing that was made clear to me in the pick is that, it's a living document, and these are not like a mandate to do specific things, right? Like we can say, actually, our advice is that this doesn't make sense, or maybe we recommend achieving the same goals in a different way. Or we can say full steam ahead, like this is something that we as a group are interested in doing.
Right.
And that can change over time too. So I think the exercise that I was hoping for this evening with this group's buy-in is just the very first gut check, like which things do we think are high priority, which things do we think are low effort, and ideally the things that this body would pursue are the combination of it's not that much effort and we do think that there's some value add. That would be the thing that we would prioritize first, I assume. Yeah, so the exercise that I was hoping that we would go through is I have Post-it notes. We could all stand up and get out of our seats and just put them down on the board together.
You mean,
Don't forget, we have to keep
Post-it notes
this going to
represent-
because it is being watched and taped, so.
Right. So does the sound system, is there a way that we can?
It has microphones.
Yeah, so I guess we would just hope that we can move this to the back end. I know that there are microphones over there.
No, that's
we
fine.
could turn it the other, if we're gonna get up anyway, we could turn it the other
Well,
way.
he's got a camera face, and he
Oh,
can
okay.
move that camera
Sorry.
up there.
Yeah, so all I I want to do is just like, I want to make it clear, like, it's not me putting these things down. I'm not the decider. Like, I'm hoping that as a group, this is a collective thing that we decide where the things go. So the exercise that I'm hoping for is just like, we are together putting this up, you know?
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I'm hoping to run through, and there are not that many cards, and a lot of them are related. So I'm hoping that in 15 minutes, this could be done, to keep to the short and sweet component. So with the permission of the group, could we move into that phase?
Go for it.
Well, if you wanna present like each thing, it's okay with Madam Chair, you know, each item there that you have a note for, or each subsection, everybody here can comment on it, and
I mean, I can facilitate as well.
Yeah, why don't you?
Where's the wireless microphone? You can get up to the board. No, or do we have enough microphones now in here that we don't have the wireless anymore?
there should be one on the seat also that you could use.
No, he's not there.
Okay.
He's not there. He's cutting it. He heard us. Okay.
He's got one right there.
Yeah, it's
Sorry to
coming out.
make you leave the safety of the recording studio.
Okay, so I guess the idea is that I can read off the card, and then the conversation can still be, test, okay. I feel very silly.
No.
So I can read off the card, you all have copies of it in your booklets here, and then we can have a discussion and, yeah, figure out where things go from here. All right, so with that being said, maybe I can start with some of the things earlier on. So on page 16, there's, of the POCD, and I think it's the first thing where we have action items, is the category of protect natural resources. And let's see here. I'll just pick up the stack. The first one I see is to continue to protect other natural resources and to consider natural resources issues at the time of development. The lead for this is P&Z, but I guess we are in an advisory role. Do we think that this is
Wait a minute. To continue to protect watercourse, water bodies, wetlands, vernal pools, and other important water resources in Rocky Hill?
Yes, I have
That's
that card
us.
as well.
Yeah,
We're the leader on that one.
Well,
So-
hang on, I have a question for staff.
Yep.
The process, when somebody puts an application in and it's near a water course, they put an application in for zoning, hey, we want to build this. Does it go to zoning first, or does it come to us
No,
first?
it can be done simultaneous, but they cannot get a decision from planning and zoning until
Right.
this commission has made a decision.
Right, so the trigger is the applicant and not the application getting to P and Z,
Correct.
planning and zoning. It's, okay, so it is
I
us.
said we are the leader on that
Yeah,
one.
we are the leader because,
Yep.
right, the process sends it to us, and P and Z can't act until we rule in favor or against.
So to me, I'm curious what you all think. This seems like an ongoing
Yeah.
action. This is something we do frequently.
Yes.
And I would just put it in here as
That's
something we
the-
need to
yep.
just do. What's the next one on the list?
Continued to protect water quality in Rocky Hill.
Okay,
Nothing ongoing with us,
that's ongoing.
definitely.
Boom, look at this.
The next one.
Continue to protect aquifer areas in Rocky Hill.
Yeah, now,
No, we have
the
plans.
aquifer protection regulations are within the zoning regulations. So, and they are the authority under the Aquifer Protection Act. So
Right.
that, I mean, we do have input, or may have input. Just because it's an aquifer does not mean,
Can I steal one of your
yep,
Post-its?
take a hold.
Yeah, it does not mean it's a body of
Right,
water.
it's not, doesn't necessarily mean there's wetlands. Our only aquifers are really down in the industrial park area.
Yep.
So we might not be the lead on that, but again, I think that falls, yeah, can I just borrow your pen too?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think that falls under the ongoing. No? Maybe not?
No, for next.
No, not
not-
really,
Doesn't apply?
because,
We're
yeah,
not
really,
even-
Oh, I
we're
see.
not
It's not-
even,
we're
yeah,
not
we're
even
not
listed
even in
there.
it,
Okay,
yeah.
right. Yeah, sorry.
So why don't we just go through and just do the ones that we're either
listed.
leader in
Got
or
it.
partner?
That's why I didn't have a card for it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the next one in this list where we are listed?
Protect local plants and animals in their habitats.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, we do
That's
that.
definitely an ongoing.
that's ongoing.
Rights,
Excellent. Next,
Next one, under action steps, we have consider whether it would be advantageous to separate the three functions: inland wetlands regulation, conservation commission functions, open space considerations, currently assigned to the Open Space and Conservation Commission.
so this one to me seems like not ongoing. This is a thing that happens. We are not the lead,
Right.
right?
The town council is the leader on this.
That's the one yeah, now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, in terms of level of effort, this actually, to me, sounds kind of thorny, my own personal opinion, because, you know, there's multiple commissions and bodies, there's decision-making. I don't,
Yep.
it does seem complex if the idea is to spread it to multiple organizations. So I don't know.
I would, yeah, I think it's higher
We're-
level of effort, and we don't own it.
We're not overtaxed by doing all three.
No.
No, we're not.
No.
No, because you figure how much of open space per se do we really cover?
Right.
Not that much.
So it might be, I mean, the town council can pursue whatever they want, but
Correct,
maybe
yeah.
we're thinking of this as a high level of effort, but not really high on our scale of
Yeah,
importance. So it's
correct, yeah.
down and to the right. Okay. Excellent. And then the last one here would be,
Well, that's it for us on that one,
um,
for protecting natural resources.
Oh, yeah,
is there?
Oh, wait,
continue
no,
to
I'm sorry.
protect-
We
yeah.
skip,
No,
Continue to protect other natural resources and to consider natural resource issues at the time of development.
Yes, okay, and that's P and Z.
That's,
Well,
Well, they say P and Z is the lead.
wetlands are natural resources, so.
Correct.
That would be a continuing thing for us.
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
think I
think
agree.
that should,
Generally joint and.
It's right in there with continue to protect, so. Okay,
okay.
bam.
Now we can switch over to create an open space system.
Yes, and this has a lot of parts.
This is the part that.
Yeah, well, we've got partners for policies to maintain a driven commitment to preserving as much open space as possible, especially open space that allows for public access and use. Page 25.
Yeah, so there are a lot of, I'm gonna transfer these,
You dropped one, Terry.
oh, thank you. Over here. Thank you. And we can move them into the appropriate category. So what's the first listed there?
And to maintain a driven commitment to preserving as much open space as possible, especially open space that allows for public access and use.
And this is the town.
We are partners.
Yeah. Where do we think this belongs in terms of ongoing versus focused?
I think that ongoing,
That makes sense to me too, does that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like Dave explained.
okay.
Next one is to seek to connect existing and new open space and recreation areas. That one we're the leader on, which,
Into an
Makes sense.
integrated green belt or buffer system? Is that the,
That's the next one.
that's the
yeah,
next
that's the next one.
I see.
Yeah, this is to connect existing and new open space and recreation areas.
Okay, okay. So that's an interesting one. It feels like, depending on the interpretation, this could go other ways, various ways. Because like, as a group reviewing applications, we can bear in mind that something is open space or there's a recreation area in mind, although that, yeah. Or this could be a new action that would be like formally recognizing something as a green belt or buffer system. David, do you have thoughts on
It's,
that?
yeah, there's talk of the green belt through the meadows, and that Weathersfield joined, and that's been, it's an ongoing discussion.
That's
There's
been
just
an
a lot of
ongoing-
factors that
yeah.
come into it.
Yeah,
It's when you make it
That's-
a
yeah.
green belt or a greenway.
Yeah, that's been ongoing for years and years now.
Yeah. And again, from the Meadows or Ferry Park South to the other parks, connecting the other parks, you know, like the Foundry site, which is approved, that has provisions connecting open space out to Buckley Park and
Yep.
another,
Okay.
I believe another park. So it's ongoing.
It sounds ongoing. The reason I might say it's a focused action is that it sounds like there's a point at which it could end, right? Like if there's I don't know, a buffer is established that goes from north to south all the way through the town, one could say like, the task is complete. We are finished with this.
We're very limited on how much more can be developed,
Right.
but never say never. You know, so-
Right. Like I think what I've heard is there's ideas of, well, through the Meadows, I've heard that the request is creating a greenway where it's just putting up signage on a public road, for example. And that seems like a task that is done once and then complete, if that is something that we would pursue. I don't know. It seems to me like that is a concrete objective.
Are
as
we talking
opposed
about
to-
the dirt roads through the meadows?
Yeah, for example. I don't know, like, to me, it seems like it belongs over here on this side, but I'm happy to be led by the group on this one.
I think it would be
On this side?
Oh, yeah.
but I'm not a voting member, so.
Feedback?
I
This
agree,
is all useful.
that'd be something we'd have to do.
Can you see this, by the way?
Yeah, I'm good.
Not to mess it for,
It's a seek to, so, I mean, I think, sure, we can look for those opportunities that is, you know, presented to us. Is that, I missed a little bit. I guess I'm not seeing, yeah, I mean, this is where I'm like, do we have to modify some of our span of control, like, and I might be getting one step ahead, so.
maybe for the purposes of this exercise, we can assume that, like, we will pursue this within the bounds of our authority,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah, okay.
Right? Like, if all we can do is provide feedback at the point
Yeah.
a proposal is submitted.
I just,
It may just be a matter of endorsing
yeah.
a concept or
promoting,
not endorsing it, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's where though, so I'm struggling between my professional job, because I'm actually I actually manage product manager, so, so every time you say, is this something we want to do, I keep thinking like, oh, it's gonna go on a roadmap, and it's gonna be part of a value stream, and I'm like, oh, you know, so just, you gotta keep me,
I mean, maybe?
like, I don't want to, you know, yeah, maybe, right? But we have more discretion than, you know.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of commitment than
I think,
what I'm,
yeah, I agree with you. And at this stage, I wonder if our goal is just to say, like, okay, what is the priority? Like, what things are attractive
Yeah.
to us? And we can figure out the scheduling or whether we take
okay,
coordinated actions at a future meeting.
okay.
And so, assuming that this is something that we want to pursue, is it very important? I mean, I personally am quite interested in the idea of having an integrated system.
Yeah, the problem is that the opportunities have to be presented to us. We can't go out and, you know,
Right.
eminent domain and say we're going to,
Yeah.
you know, we're bulldozing your house because we're putting a path through it.
Okay.
But we
So I see it as the level of effort's low. I have to say the importance is low because while it is highly important, we're bystanders.
we can promote, like, we'll have to figure out, is it us promoting it, or is it, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
again, I mean, I think it's important. I don't know the level of effort.
So I've heard a proposal that it belongs here in the bottom left corner. How do people feel about that? Going once, going twice. Yeah. Nothing's set in stone here. They're Post-its. They can move. Okay. What's next?
Establish a series of trails as a key element in connecting open space and recreation areas into an integrated system.
That seems pretty related to what we just did, right?
Now, again, like establishing a series of trails, when I think of establishing trails, I think of like markers and having a map that's publicly accessible to
Oh,
let
that's
people know.
down
it's
under the
there.
options,
We do
actions.
have, a lot of that is already in place,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to volunteers.
Yes.
Yep.
We have volunteer trail masters
Yeah.
and people that help maintain the trails and people that map the trails and distribute the trails and do placards and the delineation of the trails themselves. So,
Yeah. Did I hear Councillor Whalen
Chickarrillo,
mention that the town has equipment around trails as well?
we do not,
We don't.
we have limited equipment, but it's, as far as, you know, a trail is a trail. It's, you don't want a super highway
Right.
through the woods, but, we don't really have, equipment to go in for trimming back and that. A lot of that's handwork that
Right.
volunteers do.
Yep.
From what you've described, it sounds like low level of effort if volunteers are doing a lot of the work anyway. It might be just a question of documenting.
Yeah, well, it's documenting and what we do presently, I'm presently working with Parks and Rec, who, that's their department, you know, these trails. We're working on a grant, to extend a trail.
Okay.
I probably am not, but I'm a naysayer, but I feel like this one is not as important for us particularly. I think it's of lower, in fact, I
More,
feel like.
more a staff level effort than
Yeah,
a
and I-
commission level effort.
Yeah, I really do feel that way.
I hear it's lower. As a resident, I feel like I want to pull it up.
But-
But
When I look at it from the framework of what we have in our mission, so I'm not looking at it as a, you know, looking at it like in our purview. There's other things I think that are more important than that. And we have, to your point, like I was gonna say, there's a PIC committee, there is the Park and Rec department. We, you know, so I kind of just feel that it's not
okay, so it
important.
sounds
So
like.
when, in all of the other things that are here.
Okay.
I actually agree with you that this one can go higher up, because even if they're disjointed sections of trail, we can mark them and hope at some point they get connected. So we should be focusing on making sure what we have does get marked. So I could see this being up there as a higher importance, because we can affect it right now.
So even though there are bodies within the town that may be more directly involved in creating and producing this, at least this body can support those efforts in as
Yeah.
much as we're able. So maybe it's more middling. It's not, certainly not a high priority, to your point.
I guess if a trail were to go near wetlands, would that come through
Yeah,
us? Is
yeah,
that
I
what-
mean, if,
Yeah.
if there's gonna be a disturbance there, but like you can't,
Right, like Straska, or form of
Well,
Straska has.
I mean, I can't even knock down a tree in you know, in my
Right.
own private lot, cause it's right next to the wetlands. I mean, I'd have to come here just to even cut that tree down, or trees down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we would get, that's a good point, John.
Okay, so we're putting it here, and I'm hearing a recurring theme, like, what is our scope within the narrow confines of
Yeah.
Wetlands Authority? There, a lot of these things are out of scope. And then if there's more work that we're actually expected to do as per the plan, then that needs to be clarified, and maybe that's something we can work with the PIC and town staff on. So I put this sort of in the middle here, reflecting the difference of opinion within the group. What's our next?
Reestablish a connection between the community and the Connecticut River by preserving public access along and near the riverfront. Consider acquiring the property whenever property near the river becomes available or whenever property becomes available in the Great Meadow. B, consider acquiring public access to the river whenever a development is proposed along the river. That we should not have to, we don't have, you know, that should be land acquisition.
We can promote it.
Right, for the financial
Correct.
reasons.
But we
Again,
can
I'll go back to the
participate
Foundry.
with-
This commission approved the Foundry development there, and as part of that, there's a trail as part of that. So there's already, on paper, there's already a trail. It's not out there now. They're not gonna do it until they develop the property.
Right.
There's a few other sites that may have, may be developed along the river, and those would be coming before this commission as well, and as well as planning and zoning. So that would be the time that,
I see.
We
So
would-
did this body like suggest, or did the town suggest to the developer of the foundry at some point, like, hey, by the way, we would like trails in this
they
area?
required, yeah,
required
There's a
there's a
requirement.
trail that goes, there's
Got
a
it.
proposed trail that goes, that connects basically Ferry Park to Buckley
Buckley
Park.
Park.
Okay, okay, so that, I understand now why the argument is that this is
So a lot of this,
ongoing.
you know, it's already done, but people don't see it because the site has not been developed
Right,
yet.
right. And that's, I guess, a case to be made for like ongoing, because it is a thing that happens like, oh, there's potential for a trail here within the strategic priorities of the town.
Yeah.
We would raise it when reviewing the applications. Okay, okay. So if that's the case, do we consider this an ongoing thing then? Or where do we think that create an open space system, reestablish connection between the community and the Connecticut River belongs?
When Michelle said that, this is more land acquisition than us.
For the financial portion, like
Right, I'm-
Dave said.
I mean, they're the one with the purse strings.
Right,
I mean,
because it's more of acquiring. Yeah, we could put in our 2 cents and saying, yeah, it's a good idea to acquire, or no, don't acquire it.
right, should,
But ultimately, it's gonna be land acquisition.
right,
Okay.
because are we going to be searching the Zillow for
No.
things that come up for sale? It's up to them to see if there's land available.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna flag this as something to discuss with the POCD, or the PIC committee. Just like, upon reflection, now we understand a little bit more, like, here are our concerns. The purse strings actually belong with other organizations, so the actual act of acquiring doesn't make sense for us.
Yes.
There are other elements in our review. Okay. All right. So, out of scope for the moment. Next.
Establish a riverway trail along the Connecticut River and Rocky Hill through whatever means are available. That's already being done. So that's an ongoing thing.
Okay.
I just don't like the wording of by whatever means are available, you know, that's
By
just
hook or
kind
by
of
crook.
like a little pushy there.
Yeah, it's kind of,
Yeah, can you make a suggestion to change that wording to whatever means are available?
I'm told it's a
This
living
has already been
document.
adopted, so.
yeah, but it's a living document.
It hasn't gone in front of council yet.
I mean, yes, I think it's worth us highlighting that. It is.
The language.
It is
Yeah, it's the
already
language.
established, but we're told it's a living document. This is a
Yeah.
thing that we can negotiate over time. It seems like the mechanism that we've talked about is through our ordinary course of business, reviewing these opportunities.
Derek, are you looking, like, when you go over the Putnam Bridge and you go you go Glastonbury to East Hartford, there's a Goodwin has a trail there. Is that sort of what you're thinking about, something like that?
I mean, I'm not sure what the authors of the plan had,
Yeah,
but it seems
yeah.
to me that if there is open space and the town is the steward of the open space,
Right.
and the objective is to help the public experience and benefit from the open space, then yes, the town would help with the trail system.
Like, concerning like the Connecticut River, like, how much, like if you have a state road, you know, there's part of your property is state property, but like the river, how much of the river from the riverbank does the state own?
So the example that I've heard about is through the Great Meadows, which is, I think, majority privately owned.
Yeah, it's
Majority
the
privately
trust.
owned, and as far as ownership, I believe it would be right up to the river, if not the center of, well, it's a state navigable waterway, so up to the river, but, there's a coastal jurisdictional line. That would be basically where nothing could be done beyond, within that.
When I hear along the Connecticut River, I assume that they mean on on land
On
wherever
land,
possible.
Yeah.
So like, my assumption is it's like, there's one public road that goes through the Great Meadows. And that is an area where the town can take the action, whether it chooses to or not. That's the area where it has the option to put in signage saying this is a public trail.
Well,
Don't go there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe not our call this evening.
Don't go there.
But yes,
just, one of the biggest obstacles is the meadows, which is beautiful property.
Yeah.
But the past issues of pedestrians and pedestrians with pets and motor vehicles,
right.
the damage and trouble that has happened down there because of that, and the farmers have a legitimate concerns over that, and that's a big hurdle. So I think, one of these things should maybe be a way to bridge that hurdle. I don't know how else to say it, but it's.
Yeah.
I think we can acknowledge for this evening that there are significant challenges, which is why it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, and you're going to get fought by the trust too,
Yeah.
and the farmers,
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of anything that goes on down at Great Meadow.
So, I mean, presumably, council had a vision in mind when they approved this plan. I think we can, for the purposes of this conversation, acknowledge there are challenges, and it wouldn't be an easy one. So if this were on this side, it would be like high level of effort.
I'm curious to see what the changes are between the last pick and this one.
yeah,
And how many of them were just copy paste from the
Yeah.
last one
Oh,
to
yeah,
this one?
some of them have been
Yeah.
brought forward, yeah.
Yeah,
and then what's actually been taken out?
yep, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Next one is to create and distribute maps to identify publicly accessible open spaces and trails, which is already being done.
Basically completed. The town
Yeah.
has maps and volunteers have done maps as well.
Where are those maps available? I looked for those.
I believe they're on the Parks and Rec's webpage.
They're on the
or
Parks and
tab
Rec
of the website.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a relatively low level of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
is
one
done.
and, yeah, this one and the next one, which is to establish signage or marking program for open space areas in Rocky Hill so that residents can become more familiar with where open spaces are in the community. That's
do-
also being done.
Well, last year purchased
Oh, the placards.
the placards.
Yeah.
Which typically, like at the application we approved on Capitol, and that
Yep.
when they finish construction, they're putting these placards up that says, uses are limited, it's a conservation easement. And then we have
Right.
open space placards, which we hope to go out, some of these were never set, they were supposed to be set, they've fallen off of trees over time. So that's, to get back to that, remarking our we have a lot of open space in subdivisions, that we could be remarked.
Okay, so the town is already doing this task to
It's-
some extent.
We got the placards.
An ongoing, it's an
You gotta have the
ongoing.
time to go out
I
and,
know.
and do
Yeah.
it. It's not as simple as it sounds.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's an ongoing issue, ongoing action.
Yeah, we do monitor
Yep,
the open space for encroachments, which is not uncommon. People tend to expand
Mm-hmm.
and sheds and gardens and so forth.
okay,
yep.
okay. I see one more here.
Yeah, consider clarifying the division of responsibilities between the Open Space and Conservation Commission and the Land Acquisition and Farmland Preservation Committee. I think a lot of that should be going hand in hand, to a degree. So,
So a clarification, that sounds like a single, ideally, if you clarify once, you don't need to do it again. So I feel like it would be on this side. What are some of the things that might need to be clarified? I think we've identified one
it's-
about the acquisition.
One thing I'll caution you on is when there's lands that are being considered, it's confidential for obvious
Correct.
reasons. Because then, appraisals are done, offers are made, and to sit here being recorded,
Yeah.
discussing a specific piece of property, totally impacts any negotiations that land acquisition may have. So, I
Yeah.
think it needs to be clarified, but it might need to be done in an executive session or
Correct.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It is for the town council, and we certainly help with that clarification, but
yeah.
So is there an obvious thing that we would want to clarify or suggest to town council to
Maybe-
clarify?
Maybe the process spelled out of, if we endorse for what the role of this commission would be,
Yep.
and where does that play
Yeah.
in the process?
Right,
Sounds.
yeah, considering we are partners, the council is the leader, we are partners with the Land Acquisition and Farmland Preservation Commission.
Oh, is council the lead for this?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
put
that's
down
what I was
OCC.
getting.
That's wrong.
That one is
Yeah,
really
council's
what I
lead.
was
Okay.
picked up on.
And that sounds high complexity to me, anything between two different bodies.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so maybe over here on the
Yeah.
more complex side. Okay, I think that's everything for create an open space system.
Yep,
The next page I see where there was work was on page 29 of the POCD.
Yep.
Preserve and enhance community character.
yeah, there's only one.
Um,
Encourage the retention of undeveloped land.
Ongoing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but, again, it's an encourage, it's not we can't reject something
Yep.
that comes in front of us that has mitigation and things.
yeah, we can deny
Well,
anything we want,
We can.
without being sued, yeah.
Yeah, without being sued.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the last three
It will be
that I saw
appealed,
were
that's
in
for
the
sure.
promote sustainability and resiliency, which is on
Yeah.
page 78.
And the first one is to promote energy conservation, sustainability, water conservation, and waste reduction recycling.
I
I'm
think,
thinking,
you
is
know,
that-
that might be a carryover, because
Yeah,
now we have the sustainable.
with task
Commission
force,
committee.
And they're
yeah,
designated as the lead for this, so,
Yeah.
yep. Well, they got us as partners along with staff,
yeah. So
And they're
perhaps
probably
it is ongoing.
thinking of
that
the water
Yeah,
portion of it.
Water conservation, waste reduction. I've heard members of this commission recommend like planting native plants and things of that nature, and that's not a requirement, but it is a
We can
recommendation.
request, yes.
That's Todd's.
it's, and that's also within the zoning regulations
Correct,
about
yeah.
plantings, so.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're helping them. Next,
educate residents about sustainability concepts. See, I think a lot of these too, P and Z should be added to them. Because like you said, a lot of them are in the regs for P and Z, so,
Where are you seeing that one?
Last page.
36? Okay.
page 36. So,
I don't see us listed. though.
yeah, we're partners.
oh, we're partners.
Oh, it's
Yeah, we're
not on
partners
here.
on all of them.
Okay, I missed that one. Yeah, and it
Yeah,
also
okay.
feels like that is also, the sustainability task force is the lead for that one, right? Yeah,
Yes,
and that I think is pretty appropriate.
yep.
Okay. So,
And then, yeah, the last one too, that's,
maybe I,
yeah. The action steps is evaluate alternative approaches, lighting controls, equipment, building envelope, electrical consumption, electrical generation in vehicles, and make recommendations to reduce energy usage, increase reliability, and save money. That, leave it as
All in
is
the
with.
zoning regulations.
Yeah, yeah.
Solar considerations and everything.
Yeah, the only thing I know that Todd likes his lighting.
Yeah, the
Yeah, Calvin's.
3,000 K or
Yeah.
less lighting and not the daylight lighting.
Yep,
How'd you
yeah.
have to teach me that?
so ongoing perhaps
Yeah.
is just part of our
Yeah.
normal
Yeah, we
review?
always,
Right.
Yeah, because we're always throwing in there, a portion of the lighting.
And then the last one I see here is create a trail guide for residents and make it available via the town website. As
We've
we've
got
been
that.
saying,
That's on the website
That's on the
already.
website.
That's
that
on the
is-
Park
that
and
is
Rec.
achieved, or
Yep,
at least phase one is complete.
yep.
Okay, so I think that is everything unless there are other items that people wanted to discuss here. If not, I will review what I have heard. So we identified a ton of things that we would ordinarily do in the course of business, and those are shown up here. There were a number of things that we thought might be a little bit out of scope or better fitted to other institutions, and maybe I will carry those reflections back to the PIC. Or, the town staff have heard this already as well, so that is feedback. And then there are a number of things that we designated as high high level of effort, including clarifying the relationship between various different commissions. And this one is also about separating out functions of OSCC, which we actually consider to be low priority since we feel we are not overtaxed as we currently are. And then, honestly, the things that fit into the high priority, like low-hanging fruit bucket, are things that are already in process or done, which is great, meaning there's maybe the work is not so much doing the thing as providing feedback on the existing thing, maybe. I don't know. But it seems like there's already motion there. So next steps, I think I just take a picture of this. We can provide the substance of our conversation to the PIC committee, and
I can also save that. The town planner, sometime in January, after the appointments are made for all the commissions, she's going to be coming to a meeting of each commission, each applicable commission. So I can save that board in my office. You can take a photo as well, but
Yep.
I'll save that board and we can bring it back out for that.
yeah,
that
seems
time.
like this could be the background for a substantive conversation, and that's a good opportunity for us to transmit our feedback. Okay, I
Okay.
think I'm done. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is actions taken, minutes presented for approval from our September 10th, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nope, okay. Next item, discussion, plan, okay, we already did the pick. Status report of various projects.
Okay, the state has begun, their contractor has begun upgrades for the ferry on both sides of the river. They're starting on the Glastonbury side, and they'll be coming to this side following that, and it's to be completed by April. It's basically some ornamental fencing, some columns, and some lighting, and some ADA accessible walks, I think, to the ferry, the drives. Washington Road sidewalks have been completed. Century Hills Phase 1 sidewalks have begun, and they're actually progressing pretty well. We did do a cleanup of the channel, Valley Brook Channel, the very north end where Valley Brook was piped, where it becomes unpiped. There's about 400 feet of gabion baskets there with some vegetation that were in it. So we took out some vegetation that was starting to affect the baskets. Our highway department did that. That's on Parsonage, off of Parsonage. So that was completed. And then Belden Brook, we're repairing a head wall at Pratt Street where
We're finally doing that?
they had like a trash rack that got damaged from logs into it, so we had to repair the head wall.
Okay.
Basically just replacing the rebar
Oh, okay.
that acts as a trash rack there. That's it for the projects.
Okay. Open space?
Open space, we did have the last land acquisition and farmland protection meeting. A young lady is doing a Girl Scout award for the Gold Award. And she's looking to do a garden at the community farm, basically an area about a, 25 or 30 foot diameter garden of native plants and pollinator plants. And to have
Nice.
little signs with QR codes so people can learn about the plants there.
Oh, nice.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then we're working on electrical service to the barn. We're waiting for Eversource, that they need to set a pole on New Britain Ave, and then we will be going underground from that pole down to the barn. And we're still working with MDC on our water service that they've agreed to provide. We thought we were getting it a couple months ago, and they put a hydrant at the end of it, so we're waiting for the water service.
I remember there were a number of different plans for the water service. So there's not gonna be a pump, right? Because MDC is
No, it's
providing
gonna be public water.
Okay.
So there's 2 wells that are on site, a hand dug well and a drilled well. Those will have to be abandoned in place by a certified, well driller. And then we don't have to worry about any concerns over pesticides or contaminants in the water. That was a big concern.
If there is public water, is there still a plan for a holding tank?
Yes, for a bathroom.
Okay.
We need approval from the state health department on that, but we're doing it one step at a time. That would be like an exception, because can't really do there's no sewer available, public sewer, and to do a septic system, we just remediated a large area there, so we don't want to put a septic system in the remediated area, so I think we have a pretty good case for a holding tank that we pump out, determine what the need is quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. And in the meantime, we have porta potty out there.
Okay.
Okay. Legislation?
Nothing really to report, except they just went back into session, so that previous, try to recall the number, it has more to do with zoning. Was it 2000, Public Act 2005 or something like that, or 5002? It had to do with all the zoning and affordable housing and that. And that was the result of 16 other bills meshed into one and put in at the last minute. So I'll have to kind of see what comes out at the end of the sausage process.
Yeah. Conferences?
I attended the Connecticut Association of Land Surveyors annual meeting last week in Windsor Locks. That was
Nice.
the only one.
Okay. Correspondence, communications?
Nothing to report.
Other business?
Yes,
Go for it, Todd.
thank you. I'm pretty sure this is my last meeting on this commission. There probably won't be a meeting next month, and I might come in January and sit and watch from the public. But I've really enjoyed serving on this council, on this committee. David's been here longer than me. Scott's been here longer than me. I've been an alternate, a commissioner, the chairman. It was a nice consistency. It was nice to give back to the town. But life changes. It's time for me to retire and leave Rocky Hill. So, thank you. It's been fun.
Yeah, Todd, on behalf of the commission, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your years of service for this commission and your care of what happens with this town. Yeah, you have, like me, worked our way through this commission from alternate on up. So, yeah, your input will be missed. And we wish you luck in your future endeavors. And you're always welcome at a Open Space Inland Wetlands Commission meeting as a member of the public.
You
Thank
can
you,
always
but-
watch us on YouTube.
That too,
On
that
YouTube. I was
too.
going to say, it's a 2-hour drive to come to these
Yes.
meetings.
Yes,
Todd,
Yep.
I'm sure your new town has a wetlands commission.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
Actually interested in getting involved
There you go.
in the new town, see if there's a Republican town committee that I can be a part of, see what commissions they have.
Good,
I'm not that old.
good. Well, again, good luck to you, and you will be missed.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Okay, could I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion
Oh, go for it, Todd.
Yeah.
I make a motion to adjourn the regularly scheduled meeting for Wednesday, November 12th.
Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.